PTR's Valuation Scorecard focuses on Nucor's potential stock price performance relative to its peer group. Three key drivers of value, growth, profitability, and risk, are analyzed. Nucor Corporation manufactures and sells steel and steel products. The company's steel mills segment produces hot-rolled, cold-rolled, and galvanized sheet steel products, plate steel products, wide flange beams, beam blanks, and H-piling and sheet piling products, and bar steel products such as blooms, billets, concrete reinforcing, and merchant bars. And finally, specialty bar quality products. Nucor also engages in the steel trading and rebar distribution businesses. The company is traded on the New York Stock Exchange with the ticker NUE. Nucor closed trading on August 4th at $167.76 with a market cap of $42 billion. Welcome to Price Target Research. I'm John Lafferty. How did we choose Nucor Corp? PTR tracks roughly 5,500 North American traded companies on a regular basis. To identify stocks meriting further analysis, our initial selection criteria include adequate company size and liquidity, recent above-average stock price performance, and a high value trend rating. We'll speak more later about the value trend rating. These criteria resulted in a candidate list this time of roughly 450 companies. Additional considerations included recent company sales and earnings acceleration, favorable improvement earnings estimates, adequate liquidity, attractive shorter-term market success, and finally favorable performance of other members of the company's industry group, in this case steel products. Nucor graded out very well on this list of criteria. The company's important characteristics include high financial strength, high expected growth, very high profitability, and low stability. A big positive influence on Nucor's valuation is its superior growth. What's the market's view of Nucor's future operating performance is reflected at the current price of $168. Nucor's common shares will need to reach $281 to achieve average annual stock market performance of 9% over the next 6 years. To achieve upper quartile performance, the stock price will have to reach $331 by 2028. The quartile chart is an essential tool in producing PTR's valuation scorecard. For each metric included, performance of a company in its peer group is ranked high to low, and quartiles determined. The high end of the bar is top quartile, the bottom end is low quartile, and the line in the middle is median performance. The company's value is determined and converted to a percentile and also plotted with a red dot. Quartile charts are used to help define a company's investment profile. 12 investment variables are used in the analysis, arranged into 4 categories: valuation, growth, profitability, and risk. Nucor's investment profile is very sharply defined. A large number of characteristics stand out: low PE ratio, high financial strength, high stock price volatility, low leverage, high expected growth, high historical growth, and high earnings variability are all extremes. Relative to the S&P 500 composite, Nucor has neutral growth value characteristics. Its appeal is likely to be to investors neutral towards income. Nucor is of the highest investment quality. Its valuation is low with moderate dividend yield, low PE, and low price-book ratio. These factors reflect low investor expectations, and they limit price risk if the company's performance falls short. Nucor's peer group consists of 14 companies that have very similar investment and operating characteristics. The company has relatively high valuation and above-market shareholder returns. Current valuation levels are high relative to the peer group. Recent market returns have significantly outperformed the Nucor peer group. Relative to the S&P 500, Nucor's overall valuation is quite low, however. The highest factor, the ratio of enterprise value to assets, is slightly below median. The price-equity ratio is below median. The ratio of enterprise value to revenue is lower quartile. And finally, the lowest factor, the ratio of enterprise value to earnings before interest and taxes, is lower quartile. Current annual total return performance of 28.6% is upper quartile relative to the S&P 500 and is quite outstanding. And the company's annualized 5-year total return performance of 23.7% is also upper quartile relative to the S&P 500. Growth has been Nucor's biggest valuation strength. Its historical growth has been very high relative to the peer group, and its forecasted growth is also very high. Asset growth, equity growth, earnings growth, and revenue growth have all been superior. These factors have buoyed market perceptions of the company. Consensus growth rate forecast, the average of Wall Street analyst forecasts, is 13.3%, substantially below the average of the historical growth measures. PTR's growth rate forecast of 22% is substantially above the consensus and above the average of historical growth measures. Pre-tax margin, return on equity, and pre-tax return on assets are all group leading. These factors have strengthened market perceptions of Nucor. And the company however, has below average cash and will have to work to generate attractive investment opportunities to support its current valuation. Our return on equity forecast is 12%, significantly below our recent forecast. A dramatic variable increase happened between 2014 and 2022. The current forecast is well below, however, the 2018 peak of 21%. Nucor's risk profile is favorable. Overall variability has been very high, with high revenue and earnings variability and above average stock price volatility. The company's financial strength is relatively very high, however, and earnings expectations are also very high. The company's debt to capital ratio has declined in recent years. The earnings score measures the recent trend in earnings expectations for a company. A high score indicates a very positive trend in investor expectations, while a low score signals that there are eroding expectations. Nucor's earnings score is 95. That score is relatively very high and signals high investor confidence in future results. Relative to the Nucor peer group, Nucor's wealth creation profile is very favorable. The profile is based on measures of warranted value, appreciation potential, and total shareholder returns. The recent trend in Nucor's warranted value of 70% is relatively very high. It leads to a corresponding appreciation score of 84, which measures the current appreciation to our price target. That appreciation score is relatively very high, both relative to the peer group and also the market. Nucor's one-year total return, as mentioned before, of 28.6 is upper quartile and relatively very high. And its 5-year annualized total return at 23.7 is also relatively very high. Total shareholder returns are expected to significantly beat the overall equity market for Nucor. Based on current investor expectations, the company's shares should reach a level of $903 by 2028, a 33% per year total shareholder return. A 2028 stock price of $281 would reflect median performance, and a price of $331 would be required to reach upper quartile performance. PTR's value trend rating is the overall measure of a stock's attractiveness relative to a universe of all companies traded on North American exchanges. The value trend rating combines the appreciation score that measures a stock's appreciation potential relative to the universe, 0 being the lowest, 100 the highest, and the power rating that measures the current timeliness of the stock for purchase, 0 again being the lowest, 100 the highest. High value trend ratings reflect relatively high levels for each of these measures, while low value trend ratings reflect relatively low levels. Stocks with high value trend ratings are expected to outperform the general market, while low value trend ratings stocks are expected to underperform. Nucor has a current value trend rating of A, which is our highest rating. The value trend rating reflects highly consistent signals from the appreciation score of 84 and the power rating of 85. The value trend rating is designed to identify groups of companies at stages when their performance reflects important underlying change. In these instances, a given value trend rating can be maintained for a relatively long period. It goes without saying, however, that ratings for stocks of interest should be reviewed regularly. Nucor's rating history has been variable. Over the last 41 months, A or B rated stock categories have been the largest category at about 2/3 of the months. During the 41-month period beginning in April of 2020, the company's value trend rating rose very significantly, however, from D at the beginning to A currently. In the recent period beginning August 2021 and ending August 2023, Nucor's value trend rating has remained stable at A. Well, that's a wrap for the Nucor Corp Valuation Scorecard. You can find additional company research and current value trend ratings on our website at pricetargetresearch.com and more videos on youtube.com/pricetargetresearch.